I am watching Diana in her own words on Netflix. And if you have Netflix, you should definitely put this one on your list to watch. And this morning I watched a bit where she's talking about her struggles being in the public eye and her struggles being married to Prince Charles at the time. And she talks about her having bulimia, and that hit something very personal to me. It's no secret, and I haven't kept it secret, that I had an eating disorder in my past. I was 15 when I started getting anorexic tendencies, and the anorexic thoughts were probably from when I was about 11, or dieting, ED-esque thoughts. And to have that pressure, you put pressure on yourself, and there are obviously external stimuli that put pressure on you as a person, and it's what you do to try and control yourself. She talks about how Prince Charles put his hands on her waist and said, "Oh, you're a bit chubby there," and she says, "Something inside me just snapped, it just clicked." And it's that passing off of the idea that we can still talk about people's features and people's bodies, and we can still talk about that in such a jokey sense, like, "Oh, haha, you're a bit skinny," or "Haha, you're a bit chubby," and it's a point of conversation. And sometimes people do it because it is seen as the norm, but also it can be seen as a way to get into a conversation, and it can be a way to ease awkward tension. But it doesn't need to be that way, because you do not know what someone is going through with their body, where they are on their journey of self-love, or whether they are in an eating disorder and they're not really sure how to get out, or whether they are recovering from an eating disorder. You're not really sure where that person is. With Diana, it seems, I don't know her psychologically, but it seems that she was already freaking out at the time, being in the public eye and just having a complete change. I mean, she was 19 when she was dating and nearly getting married to Prince Charles. She was my age. To have all that media focus on you, and also Charles and Camilla were getting quite close, and she says that she was, even when they were married, she was consistently thinking about them together. She was dreaming about Camilla. Camilla wouldn't get out of her head, and all of that. And having bulimia was her way of probably controlling things at that time. And I just remember being in that mindset of, I don't know what else to do. I don't know how to control my situations. I mean, they're not anything compared to Diana's, but just thinking that if I control my food, then I can control the pressure and the strain that's going on around me. That is a big thing for me. I won't talk about numbers specifically, because she says about her waist and stuff, and I'm not sure who's watching this, because maybe you might be a person who is recovering, and you might not want to hear numbers. That's not, I think can be quite detrimental to your recovery. Or you might not be a person with an eating disorder, but you might be struggling with your body image at the moment, so you might not want to hear what her waist was, because even though we know, an eating disorder is very dangerous, something inside of our psyche and our brain tells us that actually it's probably better, like, oh, actually, why don't we go for that? And it's so sick and warped, society is so sick and warped, that we have to feel this way and we have to think this way. It doesn't have to be this way. Princess Diana is someone that the press and the media will never, they can't let her go. I know she was called the People's Princess, and she died way before I got to, probably way before I was born. I mean, I've heard of her, and we've heard the story so many times in Britain. To have her eating disorder as a way of controlling a situation, of a way of controlling her wedding, or her stress on the wedding, or the stress on her honeymoon. She was still bulimic on her honeymoon. Moral. I do feel there is a sense that you don't know how someone is on the inside. You can only see what's on the outside, and what you see on the outside is a very happy, smiley woman, because she's needed to be that way to keep everyone in the public happy. Because there is this notion that, oh, how can you not be happy? How dare you not make us feel happy? Because if you're not happy, then we feel at unease. Whereas if she's happy, then, oh, we're happy too. But that's probably not her that's probably not how she really feels. But I feel really sorry for Diana in a lot of ways. But just to have a reminder that there are people in the public eye that do have eating disorders or do have mental illnesses similar to us. And if you ever feel alone, just remember that there have been so many people who also have the same thing as you and have the same mental illness, and you are never, ever alone. There are a lot of people out there who know what you're going through and are going through exactly the same thing themselves. So reach out to the people that you think are going through exactly the same thing, and reach out to people that you trust, because eating disorders are such a big thing in my life and in your life at the moment. They're the biggest thing. I thank you for watching this really serious vlog. It's felt more serious than I've ever talked about eating disorders before in my life. I really don't know how to feel right now. I feel a bit numb. I'm not gonna lie. But I will see you tomorrow for the next video. Thank you and bye. So, words I don't even have at the moment, really.